So I just got back in. Let me talk about what's been happening. Okay. So today is the 28th of April. My back and my chest hurt so bad. They've been digging into my back for days. For days. So, and making sure I don't sleep, okay? So, at night, hours. They're not letting me, for days. Like, this is probably 4 days at night. I haven't gotten any sleep. And then I might get 2 hours. Sometime, like the middle of the day. It's at the middle of the day, like 11 to 1. It seems like where it's been kind of falling. Is that Cox? Hold up. Okay, so this is how it's. I can't even see. Let me try this. Turn this way like this. Okay, so they so for days, okay, like that's been going on about 4 days. I'm talking about my eyes be looking like so fucking exhausted. Like the only reason they don't look as bad now is because like I've been not trying to sleep for about 3 hours. So this is they're trying to keep me from talking. I have to talk about, okay, so today I told you the date, 908 Springfield, and then 571 Akron deputy, cruisers were like stalking me. Okay, and I think they later validated 908 and made it an issue here at the hotel because like I sat outside for about 20 minutes after going into the Japanese spot next door, and it shows up and it sits there for about 5 minutes before taking off. Looks at me as soon as it like, and just not even me identifying me being in the vehicle, okay, like I could tell he was being communicated with. So the agents have been talking about like they want me to have sex, okay, like with a cop in order to get them out of this headspace. They were talking about interest, what they would lose in terms of how they've made cops up, and how this has been like the it's a word that means center of everything else that they're doing everywhere else. And they also link that to being why they approached me as a cop when I was 16 or 17. 16. And I'm here to go to jail for murder. Upland has been hired now, and they're pulling like some stunts. There was one time when I was, circling the block about that time, you know, like Phil, he managed to make it out and back inside. And that was literally because I didn't want to make a scene, you know, like skirting tires, backing up, like, and rushing, you know, to do it. But that same morning, his baby mom, she didn't leave when she normally leaves. She's always gone before 6 most of the time, like most all the time. She's gone before 6. She wouldn't come out. Samantha wouldn't come out either. So this is like probably 20 till 7 a.m. now, where I finally am like, I'm gonna have to swing back through later. When I come through, most of the time in the middle of the day, they have Nicole and Demita gone. So for example, that's what happened today. I went by there this morning and I went by there once today. Not too long ago, probably around 4. And what I've been doing is, because you know 324 and 316 have cameras, I've been like, just like, you know, hitting Sherman or either Grant where I'm not captured on camera, on their cameras. And 310 has cameras too. Samantha, but I don't think she has anything that's picking up what's going on the street right now. Demita has a doorbell. 333 has a camera, but it doesn't capture what's going on the street. So there's been a lot of threats. The first one, this started the day before yesterday, it was like surrounding my rental car. And you know, I called in and extended yesterday, like last night, maybe. Was that my first night here? I called to extend it, and they told me I would have to go into a counter. But that all stemmed from them, you know, pretty much claiming that I was someone else. And these are agents that are knowingly going in to places using these identities, that are manning these positions, and like, my name is all over everything I do. Like, and so it's not that they don't know who they're doing it to. Like, they purposefully show up to sabotage me. So they showed up and they put a note on my rental car lease that prompts them to send me to the counter. Okay, they were trying to make the car disappear. Right? Like, and this was like a financial type thing. Like, they've been cursing about my finances like I don't know where today. I wasn't expecting anything from the VA for housing this month, but they deposited $685 into my account. And like I said, I wasn't expecting that, but like, that's pretty much where I was last at with my rental before like these last few days took place. You know, like $300-400 over on my rental, and it costs us more, you know, to extend it than it does per day when I was getting it under those other terms. So whereas it was $39 a day, now it's like $65 or something. And so it was an attack. They were trying to flag it, and you know, like saying that they were going to come and pick it up, you know, like track it and come and pick it up with my weapon in it, you know, like. And they were talking about how, you know, someone else, like pretty much them as one of their other selves, identified like how extremely fucking horrible they are able to be to me, and how they would compromise my situation before they compromise any of the folks that they're calling me on Upland. So they were saying like, you know, they didn't want to have to revert Samantha to this. They didn't want to have to revert Demita to that. They didn't want to have to do this to Phil. They didn't want to have to do this to whoever. You know, like, that's the type of stuff they've been saying. They've been mentioning Romano a lot. Like, talking about his situation and how, you know, like, pretty much them demolishing my finances with this trip and making sure I didn't get to execute what I came here for was they had everything writing on it in terms of their homes. So they were saying like those houses is what, you know, they were dependent on, and they were trying to put me back in the system and further paint me as a criminal. So like I said, they've been hiding, and these are informed agents, so they always know. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot of fucking games going on. Like, there's no way, like, when I move, you should know how it's unpredictable. You know, like, I could easily get someone. And because of them manning these identities and having interest in these identities, it's not going down like that. And I'm talking about, I'm a week over and everything. So that means like hotel rooms and all kind of shit. Like before I came here, it was $100 night. Like it had just got reduced to 80. So I left on the 12th. Today is the 28th. Add it up. You get what I'm saying? So they're trying to make sure they like pretty much demolish my finances and keep me from executing what I came here to do. Everything depends on this kill. Every fucking thing depends on this kill. So it's gotten to the point where I'm just like, I might have to shoot a few homeless people. You know, like just to make sure I at least have that kill to fall back on with how I'm being watched. And it's weird because like everything that they want to act like they know, they can't even solidify it. Like if you brought up the movies about me having the videos about me saying I was here and stuff, like none of that is even present. Like those all have 0 views, and the ones that have a few views, you know what I'm saying, like it's still not on nobody's radar. My Instagram has been wide open for days. None of that stuff has gotten any views. No one has watched anything. But these are things no different that I've talked about in the past. They'll act like they know something that they have no way of knowing, and they're not watching anything. And they make all these attacks based around it. And they try to keep it hidden and keep me confined here in Ohio. So, I told you what I've resorted to. I have to make sure I get this killed, and then I'll be able to push my limit a little bit with trying to get them. It's crazy because like I know systematically like that one of the issues may be why I need to go to the counter to extend the rental is because we've probably exceeded the amount available on our card, which means that I need to transfer some money. I don't have my cell phone. I couldn't even find out where the money came from today. I thought like they took my mortgage payment, you know, for my Social Security check or something, and that I didn't authorize. You get what I'm saying? Like I didn't pay my mortgage in April this month. I wasn't planning on paying it. I wasn't planning on paying no bills because I was going to jail, and I wasn't planning on blowing the money. It never mattered. Like there's nothing I could do to satisfy me. I need to stop being hurt. I need to stop being harmed. I need to get out this fucking situation. That's what matters. And these motherfuckers act like it's some type of status, like some type of they're so fucking jealous and hateful. Like The one bitch was talking about how she wanted this situation to play out for the identities that she had. She was saying that she wanted me pretty much to not be able to get out the situation. She said, I don't want her to be able to get out of these situations, and she didn't want me to have any money left, and she didn't want people looking at her like she wasn't who she said she was, amongst some other things, like some more wordplay, you know, like about what she did and didn't want. And she was talking about how when I came out of the Dollar Tree, she said, this happened while I was like approaching the counter, and I almost snapped. Like she said, I told you about acting like you ain't gonna be in the headspaces that we said you were gonna be in, under the conditions that we said you was gonna be under, acting like you. She said something about me embarrassing them, and that they were tired. Like, she said, that's your last time acting like, that's what she said to me. She said, that's your last time acting like you ain't gonna be in these spaces under the conditions we said. So pretty much noting, like, that's your last time acting like we ain't gonna fuck your money up and take your way of getting out of this situation. Acting like they were gonna seize the vehicle with my weapon in it. The male agent, the guy that identifies himself as Satan, he was talking about how, you know, like he went and got into these places he wasn't supposed to be in and made changes to some stuff that he wasn't supposed to. So he noted, like, processing the payment to act like, you know, he was in favor of me, but then he noted, like, fucking up the paper trail, the paperwork associated with the rental car, and putting like a flag on it when he could have ignored it. And, you know, like, and that's when it stemmed into all this other stuff about them acting like somebody else was saying they couldn't believe the situations that they put me in. So I was sick today. I haven't had any liquor. They mad about that. They were talking about how they lucid dream me and have me seducing people when I drink. And, you know, that shit wasn't happening either. They were applying it. Like, it was always about value and status. So when I have liquor, you know, they would claim it and apply it to themselves, and, you know, to make them up. And, you know, it's kind of like this thing. It's all subconscious filters and attacks, like painting something in a frequency that it's not. You know, like, and being boastful. These things claiming that they do and are things that they aren't. Like complete fucking idiots. Folks that just lie about any and everything, and that's not even the words that I wanted to use, but that's all I had available. They were complaining and talking about that they were gonna have to take the foul off. The last 2 days they've been going in on this right knee, like with fat injections. They further attacked my tooth, the one at the bottom that's hanging forward. They further attacked it. They got mad because I refused to do my nails. They said they weren't going to be able to manipulate reality. But that's been days and days ago. And when I get in that rental car, like, it smells so strong, like monomer. Like, I'm talking about, like, you think it opened and spilled all over the place, and it didn't. Like they paint it like a nail shop every time I get inside of it. That and the bottle of alcohol that I normally use for after I have a bowel movement. They were talking about how, you know, someone was mad because they saw that they were loosening my bowels for over a year, like pretty much paying me as these folks, you know, with these conditions that I don't have, and not allowing me to have a solid bowel movement and giving them solid bowel movements to call on me. I'm trying to think what else has been said. They said something about putting Central Howard just now. They said they were serious as fuck about having sex, and then I'm gonna put Central Howard in the darkest place. Like, I wouldn't even get what I wanted to have for breakfast this morning because I was so motherfucking mad about them trying to claim it. I was planning on having Denny's, and I ended up having Wendy's because I knew I had to eat. And this pain that they're applying to me, like, it's pain that'll make you feel sick. Like, it keeps you down. They were talking about the impact of my weapon, that, you know, they were going to end up telling somebody, referring to some type of office, referring to some type of officers or deputies, that they were going to end up telling them, you know, that I had something that would, you know, do some serious damage. And that it would make them paranoid, and that they further look for a reason to be trying to get others to make attacks on my situation for them to have a reason to pull me over. Imagine, it's almost like being swarmed, but imagine like not being able to come and go. Like, I had one day, and that was the day of movement from Fairlawn to Green, you know, like from one side of town to the other. During that day of movement, I only see one cop, but other than that, it's like constant, nonstop. Like, when I get out, when I go in, or when I leave, when I return, when I go into a place, when I come out of a place, like, it's constant. And they act like they aren't really paying me any mind, but you know what they're up to. And then a day like today, it smirks as it pulls in and identifies me. You get what I'm saying? Like it's having this you see me like smile or laugh occasionally while they're remotely harassing me. He had that same reaction. Like something was being said to him that he found amusing or entertaining. It's Friday evening. I plan on being in jail before Sunday. I have to get out of this situation before the first. And like I said, look at this timeline and consider what's been happening. Like these attacks, like you would not even be able to stomach how much pain they're putting me in right now. Like my back and chest. While I'm in the middle of talking and making this video. They watch me cry, they watch me, raise my voice and say stop. They watch me kick. They watch me do all kind of shit. And they never fucking stop. Talking about they're holding on to something, they're feeding on something that their frequency depends on, like that they drop into going back to doing what they were doing, and that they are hell bent on making everything that I said was supposed to happen not happen. When I left, those things were supposed to revert. They had no way of seeing me. They had no way of manipulating fucking reality. They ended up setting up with the identities in Oklahoma to sustain them. And it was like no different than, where the attacks originally started or made. So whether that had been Georgia or Romano or even Africa, whichever one of those three initiated it, they always keep putting more and more people in front of them. And the more people they put in front of them, is like the more issues they try to cause, because they'll get the lowest thing and try to make it up, and it turns into the shit starts coming out. It's apparent what's going on. You can't even fucking deny what's taking place with me. But none of these things are being looked at, because so many motherfuckers in front of them are making attacks. Constant attacks. Trying to get by. So when it finally trickles down and it gets to one of them, that's when shit gets more extreme, like the stuff that they were doing on my YouTube channel yesterday and the day before that. They kept saying municipal court was losing their mind. They kept saying they had to put me out of these headspaces. They said they had to put me out of the financial category. So, I have unearned income. They said, me having anywhere from $2,000 to $3,000, they had to put me out of that category. They said they had to put me out of the homeowners category. They said they had to put me out of the sane category. They said we're going to have people crazy as fucking her. And that's what they started also days ago, last week on YouTube. They started showing back up as these small groups of people that with these insults on YouTube. Like speaking out the side of their motherfucking head, not making no sense. And not paying attention to what's going on, not having a fucking clue what's going on. Like you could tell they had an agenda. They, so many homeowners, sanity. They were talking about my body some more. Felt like they had to put me out of a category. And they were kind of alluding to like that they would further attack my butt to make it disappear. Said that they told their identities that they were going to put butts on them. Said that they had to put me out of headspace. We're talking about my vehicle having a vehicle. Okay, my vehicle is at the airport in Oklahoma. So if I returned, they didn't even want me to be able to fix it. They wanted me to show up in the middle of fucking nowhere with no way in or out. You got me fucked up. Y'all gonna be seeing this shit on the news. I'm tired of these fucking agents talking to me crazy. Especially the female agents. These hoes with their foul ass mouths. I'm talking about bitches that will only talk from behind a fucking screen. I am sick and fucking tired of them talking to me crazy as fuck. Mad that I'm able to be every motherfucking thing without even fucking trying. It makes them sick. Like they see these things not be able to be turned on. They see these things not be able to fucking like not be attracted like to me, and it gives these hoes complexes. Like y'all are bot bitches. Like you can never be me. You can't do nothing about me being me, and you have never seen a motherfucking situation when someone is everything and they don't even have to fucking try to be. You ain't used to seeing that shit. It makes these hoes sick. So they clawing with motherfucking science.